Western stories will tell you, become extraordinary. Eastern stories will tell you, learn to belong. But there's a third monumental genre that will look you dead in the eye and say, we survive and thrive together or not at all. I think the third one might be the greatest storytelling technique in the world right now. And if you have even the slightest interest in storytelling, you might want to stick around to find out why. So, I've been thinking about storytelling a lot recently, deconstructing it on my path to mastering the craft. And I haven't just been looking at it at surface level or just looking at the stories themselves, but I've been breaking down how cultures fundamentally structure stories and storytelling. And if you pay attention, you'll find something fascinating. Different civilizations don't just tell different stories. They tell stories about different ideals. And nowhere is this more apparent than when you compare Western and Eastern storytelling traditions. You know what? Let me go outside and show you.
Wow, that always makes my ears ring. All right, let's start with the West. Western storytelling, especially modern Hollywood and comic book style storytelling, is absolutely obsessed with the exceptional individual. Batman, Superman, Iron Man, you get the point. All the superhero men and women that you can think of. And then you've even got franchises like James Bond or Mission Impossible. One superior individual rises above society, discovers their powers, goes through a little bit of suffering, and then saves everybody else. And those people in the background? NPCs. Citizens screaming as aliens destroy downtown for the 17th time this week. The residents of Gotham and Marvel New York should really think about moving.
Western storytelling loves the idea that one extraordinary individual can change the world. And yeah, that's a pretty powerful idea. I mean, who doesn't like a good superhero movie? It shows ambition, highlights our strengths, and focuses on innovation.
But it also perpetuates a paralyzing sense of individualism that severs the bonds between people, ignores the NPC, and promotes that cliche Hollywood trope of fame and fortune where anyone who doesn't have power or wealth or notoriety is a bum, a nobody. The Western hero often stands apart from society, different from it, sometimes alienated by it. The hero's journey becomes, how do I carry this burden that makes me unlike everyone else? That's Western storytelling in a nutshell. Power separates you, responsibility isolates you, and individual greatness saves the day. But I think we can go further than this. Now compare that to a lot of Eastern storytelling traditions, especially anime or East Asian fantasy narratives. In a lot of these worlds, superpowers aren't rare. Everybody has powers. Your uncle breathes fire, your neighbor controls gravity, and your gardener can destroy any foe with one punch. The struggle isn't usually how do I become special or how do I hide how special I am. It's usually how do I belong? How do I connect? How do I work with others and accept my flaws even though I have tremendous strengths? And that's why friendship, rivalries, mentorships, emotional stability, these are key themes in Eastern storytelling. Even the strongest characters often still need community, discipline, and emotional maturity. Western heroes usually ascend above society. On the other hand, Eastern heroes, they learn how to integrate into it. And I love that because power without connection becomes loneliness. But I still think there's one more that's even better. This is exactly what you've been waiting for. Thank you for staying till now. Now, this is what I believe to be the most powerful storytelling style on earth. It is post-colonial African storytelling. Now, bear with me. This is because most of modern African storytelling now is rooted in survival, culture, resistance, and collective struggle. The heroes are common men and women like you and me who have simply had enough. And it's ultra realistic because it's steeped in the fresh wounds of our painful reality. Our heroes aren't immortal, don't have superpowers, and often lose in the general sense of things during their lifetimes, not living to see that their stupendous sacrifices weren't in vain. From anti-colonial movements in West Africa to liberation movements in Southern Africa and revolutionary resistance in East Africa, African storytelling always returns to one narrative. We endure together. Ubuntu says, I am because we are. And that changes storytelling completely. Because now, strength isn't just about power, talent, or destiny. It's about solidarity. It's about putting aside your differences in the face of something larger than yourself. And yes, I'm more than a little bit biased, maybe because I'm an African myself, but more importantly because I deeply believe that this perspective is needed right now.
Wow. Like I said, I never get used to that. But yes, people are becoming increasingly more isolated, more individualistic. Everyone's working on building their own personal brand. We're all optimizing ourselves into emotional exhaustion. Meanwhile, governments oppress people. Large corporations exploit the masses. Communities are fracturing. Culture is disappearing entirely. And the many continue to suffer at the hands of the few because of all of this. Now, African storytelling reminds us of something that modern culture keeps on forgetting. Survival is collective, not individual, collective. We are a social, group-oriented species. Let's not forget that. The African hero often isn't the one who escapes alone, but the one who returns for others. And then the people, hand in hand, fight against everything that was designed to break them. Now, don't get me wrong. I enjoy Western storytelling. I also enjoy Eastern storytelling. I think all three genres provide something beautiful. The West teaches us about being motivated, driven, and extraordinary. The East teaches us about belonging. And Africa teaches us about collective endurance. And boy, have we endured a lot. But if you ask me personally to pick one, I will always choose what I call post-colonial African storytelling. And maybe that's just because I'm an African. Or maybe it's because we need more stories that depict how we can all, despite our differences, come together to fight what's oppressing all of us. Now, let me know about what you think in the comments. Which one's better, West, Eastern, African, or do you suggest something entirely different? Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, love, progress.